Our main topic today is going to be Toy Story, but we have a few things to touch on before we get there. What is our first story?
Yeah. So first up, we are going to be discussing. I guess you can call it news that came out today. It was more of like a little bit of a teaser, but we finally have some actual images from the Witcher series that's going to be on Netflix with Henry Cavill.
Yeah.
And buddy, does he look good? He looks good as Geralt of Rivia.
Hmm.
I'm even more excited for this now. I'm gonna pull it up on IMDb. I don't even know if there's like a legit release date for this yet. Like I feel like if they're putting out teaser posters, it has to be sometime in the next like 6 months. I don't know if that's accurate, but
Yeah.
I'm hoping it is.
Most of the stuff I've seen just references it as upcoming or coming soon. I haven't seen a release date. Just going through, no, not even. It just like the official Twitter just says, the worst monsters are the ones we created. Doesn't say like coming any
Yep.
particular day, but yeah, man, he looks great. They have some really awesome pictures. I don't know if I can put them in the video. Why not? We'll just chance it. What are they gonna do? Strike our video down, Dylan?
Fuck it. Who cares?
Yeah.
Let's
If
do
they
it.
do, I'll just take them out and put it up. Because when we did this for the Avengers, I tried to put clips, and Disney was like, no, blocked worldwide.
Because you're just coming after the small guy.
Right.
Just trying to make it big. Just promote their movie. Just trying to take us down.
Hmm.
The fucking.
Exactly. But yeah,
But
no, he looks amazing, man.
so if you know me, the Witcher series, particularly Witcher 3, is one of my favorite games. I've played it and replayed it probably about 5 times now. I
Hmm.
love it that much. I have no less than like 5 games that I've downloaded on my PlayStation that I haven't played yet that I bought in just like in sales and stuff.
Right.
But Witcher 3 is kind of the game that I'll be like, I'll beat one game or like I'll get bored with one game and be like, you know what, let's play Witcher again. And Witcher 3 to me is probably the most complete game on PlayStation 4.
Hmm.
That's like that has come out specifically for PlayStation 4. So I'm really excited. You know how big of a Henry Cavill fan I am. We talked about it before. He was to me by far the best Superman. The only other frontrunner would be maybe Tom Welling from Smallville, but that's kind of like
Gotcha.
a different entity. But yeah, this looks great. I really can't wait. It's hopefully like everyone said all along that this hopefully is going to fill the void of Game of Thrones, which now is an even bigger void than we had thought it was going to be.
Hmm.
So I'm
Yeah.
really looking forward to this. It's like it's gonna pull in. I saw a comment on Reddit today. It's gonna pull in the people that were from Game of Thrones. Game of Thrones is like a mix of people that love the fantasy genre
Mm.
that are gonna see it no matter what because it's fantasy, and then you have people that are into it because of like the dramatic aspect, which has brought a lot of people into Game of Thrones that otherwise wouldn't have liked fantasy. And
Right.
I can see The Witcher doing it because The Witcher as a whole, it's just a whole badass story, and they're pulling in from the books and the video games. I've never read the books, but obviously the video games are great. So
Mm.
I'm really excited for this. I think it's gonna be awesome.
Yeah, man, I think this certainly has the potential to be the first legitimately good video game adaptation of anything. Granted, like you said, it is based on the books. I know the author was really excited about this series, but I think 99% of the people who know The Witcher know it due to the CD Projekt Red video games, all time classic games, and
At least on the U.S. side, yeah, for sure.
right. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I should probably in Poland. The book series is very
I think the
big.
I think the books over there were like basically like Harry Potter
Hmm.
almost. I don't know. That actually could be a complete lie because I'm not from there. But I do believe it's very big over there. But yeah,
Yeah, and it almost feels like there's kind of an arms race right now to like replace Game of Thrones, where you have, of course, HBO. They have a new spin-off prequel series in the works. There's Amazon, who has a Lord of the Rings kind of prequel type series going on, and now Netflix putting their hat in the ring with the Witcher series. So it'll be interesting to see which one of those fantasy series takes the crown, if you will.
yeah, that's kind of a great point. I mean, it's gonna be tough because I don't think it's really tough to think there's gonna be another phenomenon like Game of Thrones.
Right.
Because like I would say after season 3, Game of Thrones is when like everybody started watching it. I think before season 3, you had obviously a lot of the people that were there from the start, which not to toot my own horn, I was, and then you had a lot of people that came in because of word of mouth and they heard how great it was, and then it became like a thing. Like if you didn't watch Game of Thrones, like what were you doing?
Right.
And so yeah, it's obviously any company's biggest dream is going to be to have something as big as Game of Thrones because other than maybe like Star Wars or the Avengers, I don't think there's any other bigger property on planet Earth right now.
Mhm.
So yeah, well, yeah, Lord of the Rings is something I actually kind of completely forgot about because it's been out there for so long. We haven't really got any news about it. But that's another one too that has the chance to fill the void.
Yeah, I know one of the writers from Game of Thrones. His name escapes me at the moment, but he wrote the second episode of this season, which a lot of people, say maybe was the last good episode of Game of Thrones. No shade on there, but I know he went over to Amazon to work on the Lord of the Rings series,
Yep.
so that could potentially be good for them. And I think they all have their various, strengths. Like, obviously, Lord of the Rings was one of the biggest movie franchises of all time. Those original 3 movies are all-time classic movies, in my opinion. I don't know how you feel about them. I assume you like them too.
I mean, the original Lord of the Rings trilogy. You said it's to me. I think we might have talked about this off the air. I think it's probably the best trilogy out of anything. Like the most complete by far. Because even like the original Star Wars trilogy, like I love, but Lord of the Rings is just like a perfect masterpiece to me.
Right.
So
yeah, there's a reason it won so many Oscars with Return of the King, as well reserved. So obviously Amazon has the advantage with that being popular. Then of course Game of Thrones, or rather, HBO has the namesake of Game of Thrones, and then of course The Witcher's already, one, a huge video game, and two, it's most people already have Netflix, so they might be like, oh, that's Superman. Oh, what's this show?
Also, like you brought up too, I completely forgot about. There's like within I think the next year we're gonna get another Game of Thrones series.
Yes,
like,
they are. They're working on it right now.
I don't know if they're that far along, but I have to imagine because I think the original rumor was that it was going to be fall of 2019. That could be a lie too. I could just be making that up, but
that'd be a quick turnaround. That'd be interesting.
Well, it's definitely not coming out now in the fall of 2019.
Right.
But I think that was like the original hope for it. So I gotta imagine it's within the next year. Maybe in the same slot Game of Thrones is in like the springtime.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, the other thing that's interesting with Netflix too is that it seems like a lot of the creators on there get kind of like the ability to create however they want to, which is obviously great, both as a filmmaker and as somebody that is viewing the show. So it's great for like everybody all around. So this has like it's tough because like a Lord of the Rings series obviously is going to be pretty great, but the Witcher, I have such high hopes for this now, especially because like I said, I just love Henry Cavill, and I think this is like a perfect role for him.
Right. Yeah, I think, like you said, like where would Stranger Things have gotten made? Maybe only HBO, if not for Netflix. Like, such a strange idea, but such a great show in my opinion.
Speaking of which, next time we record, we will probably both have watched Stranger Things all the way through.
Maybe that's the next episode.
Maybe it is, Brian. Maybe
this
it is.
This could be what they call a teaser.